Hey everyone, I'm Jenni Hogan and I'm so excited to be doing this EV exchange with all of you. Thanks for having me on. I am really honored to be around all of you, a little nervous too, that you're going to be hearing my story and hopefully getting something from it. I know that the next 10 minutes of your time, thankful that you're going to spend that with me because you could be choosing to do a lot of other things and kicking booty in that time. So I feel really honored that you are. I'm really excited to meet you all one day face to face, or just reach out to me too. I'd love to hear your stories. I think we can all make each other rise by sharing our stories, our ups, our downs, and then just picking the best things that work for us from them. And so really that's what I hope you get out of this today is less any tips or feedback. I don't feel like I'm the person that can give you advice, but more inspire you to work out your why and why you're really into real estate and doing this industry, and then share that story with other people. So if I can inspire you to do that, then that would be amazing. So first off, what is my why? Now, I do have an Aussie accent, so I do sometimes need props. So WHY is what I'm talking about, my why. So why am I in this industry? Well, my biggest why is to impact people from the moment they wake up to the time they fall asleep. And that is so cool that we can do that through real estate, and our industry is their biggest purchase. It's the place they spend the most time. And it really comes down to that day after closing, how we've impacted them, whether we've allowed them to wake up and spend 5 minutes looking at mountains now and have an amazing feeling every day. Or are they closer to their kids' school and they now save an hour drive time and can use that time to be super mom, super dad, from even just increasing their bank accounts, right? So we've got them a great investment and now they have some equity and some excitement about their portfolio in real estate. So it's just cool that we can be a part of that moment. And it's just my favorite day, the day after close, where we've impacted them in that way. So that's my why. So let's get into the story. I do want to say that I am so inspired by all of you. Real estate is such a tough industry. I come from the tech space. I founded a company. I'm definitely an entrepreneur. And real estate is being the ultimate entrepreneur, because speaking of that day after close, it's the greatest day, but it's also the scariest day. Every time you close a deal, you're now unemployed. You have to go hustle for your next deal. So every deal we close, we're so excited, but we're also faced with, wow, I have to go out there, hustle and create my job again. You're also 100% betting on yourself, which is pretty amazing. And there's no paycheck every 2 weeks, as you all know. So there's sort of my big light bulb moments as I got into real estate, and we're just like, wow, the people in this are just so admirable. Every day turning up with a smile, with not the certainty that you get in other industries. And one of my mentors when I was doing all my startup stuff said, Jenni, if you don't bet on yourself, no one else is going to bet on you. So I really feel like that in the real estate industry, when I got into it just over 2 years ago, I jumped in. I jumped fully in, bet on myself, 100% into this. And I know a lot of people can't do that, and it's really hard. But that was a big changing moment for me in real estate, to jump fully in. And so my first year was pretty hard. I just moved to Park City and got into real estate, changed careers. And I was told, how do you do this? Go to your SOI, sphere of influence. And I had to Google that. I didn't know what a SOI was. And I found that that's the people around you. It's your hairdresser. It's the people at school. It's the people you hang out with. And at that point, I wasn't really hanging out with many people. I still had my hairdresser from back in Seattle. So I was like, where am I going to start? So I Googled a little more and I found some great advice from other agents saying, just hustle, really locally hustle. So that's what I did. I knew a little tiny area of Park City really well because I just searched for my house in that area. And I reached out to for sale by owners, and 2 for sale by owners said, yes, you can list my house. I told them that I would love to bring the marketing expertise that I had from other industries and team up with them. They could be the experts on the data and real estate and their house and the pricing. They loved it. So I ended up listing my first 2 houses were for sale by owners. Then once I got those listings, I just marketed it with for sale open house signs, sorry. So instead of, I think my agency at the time gave me, my brokerage, 3 to 5 signs, I ended up ordering 20. Every single corner in this little neighborhood had my sign on it. Every weekend, every day I could do an open house, I did an open house. And people started to run into me in the supermarket and be like, you're doing so good, because they would see my signs everywhere. From those houses, I probably got at least 3 buyers from doing those open houses, and a couple more listings from neighbors that would walk in and meet me. And it just started growing. I just did listings, buyers. And in my first year, we all love numbers. So I sold 20 million in properties. Sounds great. But behind the scenes, the numbers weren't that great. I did a lot of discounts to get those properties. I hired an assistant. Just to keep up, I was just struggling. I hired another agent. And I did not take home much at all. The formula was not working. I was burnt out, and I wasn't being a great mom, which is why I changed industries in the first place, so I could control my time. So I paused. So then I went back to the basics. I had built companies before in the tech industry, and it's all about your why and solving problems. If you can solve problems for people, then the results will come. So the other thing I realized was I was alone. During that time, I changed brokerages. I also got a divorce, became a single mom with a single income, looking after my house and kids. COVID hit. I had to also homeschool, and I went dry. I had about 4 or 5 months of 0 closings as I did this regroup. And I realized I work best in teams. I was a rower at the University of Washington. We won 2 national championships, and I captained the team. If I can translate that over, and that passion and excitement that I had for my team, and solve people's problems, then I knew I'd enjoy myself. I knew that the results would come, and I just had to trust my gut. So that's what I did. Team, I started looking for someone that had all the strengths that were my weaknesses. And I'd done a few deals with Ryan Sapp, and so that's when we teamed up, a local agent here. He's been in the Park City area for over 21 years, knows it front to back, something that I didn't have under my belt at the time. He's also built over 30 houses, so he really knows construction well, building, all the things that when I'd walk around with clients, I had to get another resource to help me out with. So we teamed up. It was super scary teaming up with someone. 50% now of what I don't think I'm doing well, and now I'm also giving up 50%. But that was the biggest catalyst for me, was teaming up with the right team player. And that was just over a year ago. Also someone that has the same mindset as you. So he's also super competitive, loves working. He also is really into relationships and solving problems. And so that's where we started. We bonded over our relationship building passion. We started hosting networking events for the community, people we knew, just bringing together brilliant brains and just starting to be the link for the community for meeting other people. And so we started holding those dinners. We also took our marketing budget, and instead of advertising, we put it into relationship building. From those dinners, we also started handing out bags to the community. We felt a real need for real estate experts in this time when COVID hit, and everyone was like, how is that going to change real estate? We didn't know how it was going to change real estate, but we knew that we had the data that the general public didn't have. We were seeing firsthand what was happening, and so we could be a resource for them for whatever they needed. So we got together bags. We went to a local mum who made masks, and we supported her, bought a bunch of face masks from her, and decided to give gifts to the community. And our big goal was getting to know the community, going to meet them. Everyone that we went to, we did not door knock to sell ourselves. We door knocked to meet them, or we just dropped off the bag and let them call us in their own time with whatever they wanted to know about real estate, and having us as the expert there. We met people out in their yard, and we talked to them about them, their family, things about them. It was not about real estate. It was really just meeting the community. From these bags, we had several phone calls, and they called us to experts in real estate with their questions. We, again, just listened on these calls. We didn't have any ulterior motive or ask from them. People would ask us about, how do you even sell a house in this market? Are people coming to open houses? They asked us about their neighbors who was stuck in Australia and she couldn't get back and she wanted to sell our house. Can you please help her? We just had so many interesting conversations during that time. And then we started really investing in these people with relationship building, solving their problems. Some of them we did sell their houses or find them houses. After we sold their houses, we continued to invest in them, from bringing them dinners or inviting them over, and we would have dinner outside and say, bring a couple of your friends as well. And these people became our biggest advocates. They would tell the story of how they met us, how we helped them through their time of need in real estate. So now sitting here, April, we have 17 million in deals closing. We've done over 60 transactions this year alone, and it's going really well. But the biggest impact to me is the text messages and the thank yous we're getting from these people that we're helping. And that's what makes it so worth it. So I hope this story has really helped you understand my journey. I hope it's made you think about your why, and I hope it's inspired you to share your story too. I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out. And again, thank you for spending this 10 minutes with me on, I know when you're so busy as well. And thank you, Angle and Volkers, for having me. All right, bye.